So, coming from the information, OpenAI discovers a new way to cut inference costs in half. And if you go and you take a look at this actual story, that's about the long and the short of the story. It is kind of funny. Like the information is normally a very good place for tech journalism. But if you go and you take a look at this article, that's basically the long and the short of it. Somebody at OpenAI stated that they were able to cut inference costs in half, essentially for non-logged in users. Wow, exciting. How did they do it? Who knows? Is it scalable? Who knows? Is it maintainable? Who knows? Do they own the intellectual property on it? Who knows? We just have this one particular sentence to take a look at. So I actually got this question. I do a collaboration with Isaac Pound over at Tech Times. I don't know. Once a week, he calls me up. We have a little conversation about different things in technology, and he was asking me about this today. And so I thought I would go over it a little bit on my particular show to explain why this might be a bad thing for OpenAI, right? So in the normal world, if you found out that you could provide the same services with half the hardware resources, that would be winner, winner, chicken dinner all the way around. There should be in a sane world, in a sane world, right? There should be absolutely and utterly no downside to that. One of the things with this, the issues that comes up, is it doesn't seem like OpenAI is screaming this from the rafters, right? So you would think if one of these AI companies was able to deliver the same level of performance for half the resource cost, they would be crowing about it. They would be telling everybody in the world. So the question comes up is why are they being quiet about it? Why are they being hush hush about it if it actually is real? And the reason I think that they're being hush hush about it is that if they increase the efficiency of their systems too much, especially by 50%, I actually think that puts their entire company in jeopardy. So one of the things we've heard from Sam Altman recently is that they have to IPO at $1 trillion, right? IPOing at anything less than $1 trillion from Sam Altman apparently is literally a non-starter. Think about how insane that is for a technology company. I talk about this a lot with the valuations of these companies. And think about when you get to the point where anything less than $1 trillion valuation is a failure. And remember, the last funding round for OpenAI, at least I know about, they came in at an $850 billion valuation, right? So the investors bought in at an $850 billion valuation, so they want to get some return. So that's where you hit the $1 trillion mark. Well, one of the arguments that Sam Altman has put out there for OpenAI is that essentially the only way you get to AGI, artificial general intelligence, is through more and more hardware, right? OpenAI's mantra is more hardware equals more AI. That's just it. More hardware, more data gets you more AI. And so when they've gone out to the investors, basically the argument is that if they can monopolize hardware consumption, if they can essentially buy all the hardware, that is a way to outcompete their competitors. So if you look at the AI competitive environment right now, you've got OpenAI, you've got Anthropic, you've got SpaceX, you have Google. I mean, Meta exists. Meta exists. You got Amazon, yeah, and then you got all the Chinese players. You got Mistral out there. You got a lot of different AI companies. And so the big thing with OpenAI is like, look, the only way you're going to get to the artificial intelligence that's going to be worth $30 trillion or whatever else is by getting to AGI. The only way you get to that is by hardware. And so essentially we are going to consume all the hardware. The moat is going to be our hardware. Well, here's a problem. What happens if you find out that in order to provide the services that you want to provide, that you only need 50% of the hardware that you thought you did? All of a sudden, one thing to think about is, okay, well, you have twice as much hardware as you may need, but what you also have to look at is in the competitive landscape. Basically, now all of the other AI companies out there can get more utilization out of their hardware. One of the big problems we have with artificial intelligence right now, at least from a competitive standpoint, is it seems like very little of this AI technology it can be protected with intellectual property. So in the United States, one of the big things our corporations do here is they monopolize ideas using intellectual property law, copyright or patents, that type of thing. For whatever reason, AI seems to have very little intellectual property protection. So one of the things to think about is if OpenAI can figure out how to do this, all the other companies can probably figure out how to do it too. And then all of a sudden, all of their competitors need less hardware to get even further. The other thing to be thinking about is that if they figured out how to do this, if the Chinese companies can basically create their own versions of whatever OpenAI is doing, right? Right now, DeepSeek costs like is 5x less expensive than OpenAI is. So if they can improve, they can do whatever OpenAI did here. What if they could be 10x cheaper than OpenAI? What kind of business position does that put OpenAI in? And so I think what becomes very interesting with this is that literally by finding a better way to do artificial intelligence, OpenAI might actually put itself into a death spiral, which becomes just a hell of a thing. And that's the weirdness that's going on right now with this whole the difference between AI as a technology and AI as a business is what is good for the technology, what is good for the tech stack is probably actually not that good for many of these businesses and might run some folks into some problems going into the future. So that's why they might be a wee bit hush hush. It's kind of might be one of those oh crap moment. What if we don't need to invest as much into data centers as we thought we did, right? I mean, think about this, right? Sam Altman, they signed a contract with Oracle for $300 billion. So that's one of the things to think about with investors. With investors is all about optics. It's how the investors see you. It's not the reality that exists, right? So one of the things to think about is when OpenAI signed the $300 billion contract with Oracle, per OpenAI's idea of the AI competitive landscape. That looked like a slam dunk moment because essentially they were locking in Oracle to provide them hardware services. And again, the idea, if they could essentially outpurchase what any of their competitors could outpurchase, then that takes a tremendous amount of resources essentially off the table. Like a big thing that these technology companies are doing right now is it's not simply that they're trying to make their products or services better. They're literally trying to take resources off the table so other companies aren't able to use those resources. So Sam Altman comes in, they do a $300 billion agreement for all of this hardware infrastructure. So it looks like all of that is being taken off the table. So optically, that looks good, right? In an environment where more hardware equals more AI, that is a baller move. Look, OpenAI's CEO is so visionary, can see so far into the future, and is such a risk taker, such a believer in this technology, right? We were able to go in, sign this contract with Oracle, and all those hardware resources can no longer be used by the other companies, right? And since more hardware equals more AI, that is a win optically. But here's a question. What if you signed a $300 billion contract with Oracle, and then everybody finds out, oh, he only needs $150 billion worth of resources. So he signed a contract that basically paid for twice as many resources as he actually needed. And again, if this technology can be figured out by other companies at this point in time may have more resources than they need too. Now at this point, he didn't do a visionary move to take resources off the table. He massively overpaid for resources that could never be consumed. And this is This is the kind of weirdness you got to deal with in the business world, and why I can't wait for this whole AI disaster to finally end. So much of what's going on with artificial intelligence has nothing to do with technology. Doesn't even have much to do with what you would think of as standard business. Really, it's just optics and narratives and storytelling, which it just frustrates my little brain. So what do you think about this? What do you think about OpenAI possibly discovering a way to cut inference costs in half? What do you think about that being a death spiral for OpenAI? I don't know. Put your thoughts down in the comment section. And if you like these episodes, do remember they're on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. Link is down below. Also, if you want to follow me on LinkedIn, there's a link down there too. With that, see y'all later.